putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
And you're listening to the 402 Business Insider, sponsored by Complete Family Dermatology and the UPS stores. I'm Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. With me, as always, Gary Tharnish from Home Design Real Estate Group. How you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Good.
I'm doing really good. Feeling good. It's just kind of a nice, kind of getting into that fall type,
Here it comes.
time of, yeah.
Whether we like it or not, it's looming.
Yeah,
that's my
you
word.
betcha.
It's a looming right on the edges of weather. It's looming. So
Yes, it is.
and man, have we had a rainy year?
Yeah, we have.
We really have. What,
We
2.5
have.
inches last night, and
Actually,
just-
the power went out at my house.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear a thing or even know it was going to rain, but I mean, you knew it was raining when you got up, and then driving to work, I heard on the radio. I'm like, oh, geez, 2.5 inches. That's like crazy, but yeah. It's all right. I'll take it.
We need it. We
I'll
need
take
it. Well, let's kick it off as we always do. Business lessons in the news. We almost need like a music intro for this, I think.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have to
Get
we'll
some kind of an intro.
we'll have to get David on that. Have him pick something out for us. So he's got something in mind. He's pointing.
Do the Addams Family thing because it's like it'll be fun. It's Halloween's coming up.
So I was kicking through. I found this price cuts at McDonald's are coming up, right?
Yep.
And they're saying this is a signal of a broader fast food price war. And as soon as I saw the headline, I'm like, oh man, don't get me wrong. I'm all for price cuts, but as a business owner, when you start getting into price cuts, if it all comes down to price, you've lost.
Right.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Because
we see it in real estate commissions all the time.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I can sell your house for 1%. I'm going to stick a sign in the yard and leave it there. But
I've always wondered about that because, if I were to sell a house and you go 1% versus 6 or 7% or whatever the rates are, 1% looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But the question is, how am I getting it sold for 1% or 3% or
and
a
what
discount rate?
What are you getting? What is the marketing? Are you going to get the marketing? So many things. But anyway,
Yeah.
I agree with you. When you race to the bottom, whoever gets to the quickest is as soon as gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's really what it comes down to. I remember in the floral industry when grocery stores first started selling flowers, and they were loss leaders. So they sold them often less than what we bought for them. And, people would be, oh my God, they're going to put us out of business. And I go, it won't be long before they figure it out. And now some of those same grocery stores are more expensive than your average flower shop. So, you figured out. But this one I found interesting. I actually read both of the articles, and there's some really good points in there. I mean, it's certainly not. I found it very interesting. So the company you talked about was McDonald's, right? The articles were based on McDonald's, and I thought it was interesting. They pulled out of the National Restaurant Association, which they've been a part of forever.
Know that.
Yeah, they pulled out. They literally just pulled, which is huge for that association. Right?
I could
McDonald's
imagine.
is gone. But it was interesting when they were talking about their pricing, that if you go to a sit-down restaurant, right? And the waitress or waiter there may be getting paid $3 an hour, $3.50, way under minimum wage. I think the federal limit was set in 1991, and it's the same now, which is like $2.41.
Yeah,
it's incredibly cheap.
something.
And they
like
make
that.
up the difference in their tips. So think about that. If you own the restaurant, right? It's like basically your clientele are paying your employees.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Essentially,
Absolutely.
correct?
Yeah.
So then you go over to a McDonald's where, I mean, I can tell you right now, I try to avoid the word never. So I'm going to say I would almost never guarantee you that I'll never tip at McDonald's.
Oh, no.
I mean,
no.
So they don't have that. So they have to pay. I mean, I can see the disparity in it, And I mean, have you bought your family dinner at a fast food restaurant recently?
I quit doing it because you can't go through. Yeah. Just for two people.
Right.
It's $40.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy what it costs.
But see, I read through this article, and the first thing that hit in my brain was tips are coming at McDonald's. And I thought they'll roll it out and test it, because they're in this weird quandary. And most people don't realize when you roll through at any fast food restaurant and you pay $20 for a meal, there's I think it's 30-30-30-10 is what they say. 30% of a fast food restaurant's budget is food costs. 30% of it is labor. 30% of it is rent. And that last 10% is for marketing and all the other
Profit.
things, yeah, and profit. And so when you start looking at that, you're going, fast food restaurants probably making 2%
Yeah.
net profit, which they deal in volume, right?
Yeah.
So they're doing fine. But when you have, like you said, you have a minimum wage, and Nebraska's minimum wage every year since 2022, it's gone up every year, and it's
Yeah.
going up next year too.
Yeah.
And you have some places on the coast at $21 an hour, I think it is. And it's like, man, we are going to start training our replacements in robots.
Yep.
Because
Oh yeah,
we
McDonald's
can't
already
afford to
rolled
go
that
there
out.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And McDonald's is saying they're going to roll back. And I don't eat at McDonald's a lot, just for like we're talking now.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $40 on
McDonald's.
just okay food. So they said they're rolling back, like one of their rollbacks was an $8 Big Mac meal. And I thought, is that a bargain? Is that a good price? I don't know. That seems high to me, and that's the rollback. So what's it now? 10?
It's like 10,
12?
11 or 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other one. So here in town, we have one of the corporate owned stores. So
Yeah.
it's not a franchisee. It's the one right where my flower shop was on 58th and Old Cheney. It's been one of their, it was like at when, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago when they tried to roll out that whole thing we can talk about in a minute. But anyway, meant that people from Chicago that were coming down, the big wigs, in
Right.
marketing, that were changing the whole thing. But they were telling us it's the third highest producing store in the country.
Oh, wow.
But another thing about this whole fast food versus a restaurant style seating, and fast food places pay the entire wage of their employees, and restaurants, it's a client because you're tipping. That's all one issue, right? But on the other side of it, of course, if I'm McDonald's, I would be really happy with the 2% profit margin of how many billions they do over a year,
Right.
as opposed to Bucky Beaver's stop and go chicken place that has 4 stores.
Right.
That's going to be a bigger difference. But the other thing in that article, not only the Big Mac meal, but they had their sausage McMuffin, their egg McMuffin,
Oh, yes.
egg McMuffin meal deal. You're going to get your egg McMuffin, hash browns, and a coffee for $5.
Okay.
So this morning I'm thinking, oh, we're going to be talking about this on the radio show. I kind of want to check it out, and had meetings all day. So I'm like, I haven't had that breakfast forever. I'm just going to drive through and get it. I'm over on 58th and Old Cheney, drive in, drive up, get to the menu. And on the left-hand side, biggest day, on half of the left side ribbon that they have there,
Right.
is this special, this $5 sausage. So I order it, and the lady says, oh, we're not offering that anymore. Now, in the article, it says they were going to start offering it on September 8th. That's yesterday. Today's the 9th, and suddenly they're not offering it anymore after one day.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
my
and this is a
goodness.
corporate store, one of their most profitable ones. So it's another thing where it's like, okay, you roll out that you're going to do this, and then, you're backing off, right? Day
Yeah.
2.
Come on.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Nuts.
Yeah.
See, and that's what kills me. There's another business lesson right there. If it's on your menu,
Yep.
honor it.
Yep.
Even if you're losing money,
Yeah.
you need to honor it or get it off of your menu.
Well, and it's a picture menu. I mean, they can change
Yeah, it's
that
digital.
overnight.
That's what I was
They can
thinking. I'm
digitally
like,
change it
last
in a
time I
heartbeat.
went through there, they were putting up those digital menus.
Yeah, so I just got a small coffee and left.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And here's the thing, you're starting to train your people that it may not apply here. And
Yeah.
last time they offered this or that, I didn't go, and
Yeah.
or I went and it was bad, so I'm not going to go this time.
yeah.
Those are serious business lessons. If there's a price, you need to honor it.
Yeah.
And like I said, lowest price loses.
Well, and it said in the article they're targeting household incomes of $49,000 a year or less. That their data has shown that demographic is buying fast food way less than they used to. Well, yeah, because we're all buying groceries, right? I mean, eggs were what, $6, $7 a dozen not that long ago. Of course, they're not going to have disposable income. If you go there, we were traveling the last time I went to McDonald's, and so it's maybe a year ago, and it wouldn't matter whether it was McDonald's or Burger King, any one of the big, any food chain.
Yeah.
Right. And there were 3 of us, and we ordered combos, and then I think someone got an ice cream, but it was like $37.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
There was a guy, Nigel Travis was his name, and he was the CEO at Burger King for a while. I'll have to dig this up, and I'll put it in our email.
Cool.
But it was absolutely fascinating. He had taken over Burger King is the CEO, and he did a deep dive on who their customer base was.
Yeah.
And he started looking, going, okay, our big spenders are lower income. And what do these people want? They want meat, more meat, throw some bacon on it, 10 slices of cheese, right? He
Yep.
knows what their super fans want.
Sure.
And so when he took over, this was back when McDonald's was doing the adult Happy Meal. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
David might be a little young for that one.
I remember it.
And being young, he don't care. He's not going to McDonald's for it. But they were offering, it was like a salad. And they were offering like diet drinks, not like Diet Coke,
Yeah.
but different kinds of diet drinks, and or bottled water, I think was one of it
Yeah.
that came in this adult Happy Meal. Bomb. Not going to McDonald's for a
Yeah.
salad.
Yeah.
I'm going for cheap meat and lots of it. At the same time, they came out with the stacker, right? Which was, how many patties do you want?
Oh,
One,
yeah.
2, 3, or
How
4.
much bacon?
How much bacon do you want?
Yeah.
And Nigel Travis, who was a health nut vegetarian
That's
CEO,
hilarious.
took Burger King through the stratosphere.
Yeah.
It was a fascinating read
Yeah.
because you need to identify who your super fans are and give them what they want. These people don't want salad.
I was still waiting for a salad to come out, which I would have bought. And if it was all bacon with a little garnish of lettuce, that would be the perfect
Yes, a piece of
carnivore salad
parsley
for
on the
me.
side of it. I don't think
It'd
they
be
do that
just
anywhere.
perfect.
Just flick that parsley off to the
I
side. and
know, just
get
throwing that out
to
there.
it.
We can spitball the new menu.
Yeah, I just looked at that and I'm like, oh boy, you start getting in these price wars and you have nothing but you're gonna lose.
Well, there's so many lessons here. Number one is if they're feeling that they're losing market share, especially with that demographic, they came out with the dollar meal, right?
Right.
You could buy one regular item and you can get other items for $1 each up to a certain number. They're keeping that, but why not, highlight that or just make that a thing as opposed to going, we're just going to totally lower the price. Obviously, you have the households making 48,000 or more are still buying your $9.99 breakfast meal and $14 Big Mac or whatever it is. I mean, they're still buying them.
Right.
So it's like you're making this big change for what's percentage of that population. And then furthermore, the marketing bridge is broke. It's not even built because
Right.
I went today to get it. The day after they opened it up, it's as big as can be on the menu. And they're like, oh, we're not offering that anymore. I'm like, well, it hasn't even been 24 hours. So
for $5, Gary, here's what you could have
What
got
happened?
yesterday.
I know, right?
Sorry you missed
Which
it.
is also not really good, right? It's
No,
like, here's
that's
your flowers.
horrible.
Happy anniversary last week. Travis
Yes.
loves you, Shannon, but he just forgot a
Exactly.
little bit. Doesn't work that way either.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got to run to a break real quick. Travis Filing, Gary Tharn. It's just the two of us today having a little chit chat.
We're going to find out about you today.
Oh, this could be dangerous.
Yes, it
All
will be.
right. We're going to catch it right on the backside of this break. Stay tuned.
conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Network. This segment is sponsored by The Cabin, virtual indoor golf. If you guys are golfers, come down, give me a call. We'll play 18 holes. You got to check it out, free of charge. Just give me a call. We'll have a blast. You'll love it. You'll be blown away at how good of a golf experience this is. Western National Bank, the T-shirt and jeans guys, these guys are fantastic. If you have to start building banking relationships as a business owner, and I highly recommend calling these guys. And Mendoza Family Insurance. So another good mom and pop type operation. These guys really are incredible at what they do. So check them out. The Cabin, Western National Bank, and Mendoza Family Insurance. When we were talking, one thing and during the break, we were chatting about the tips thing. And when I was reading through this story, I get down these rabbit holes, right? You see the video, and here's another story. And here's another. There was one video, and it was a place in California where your food was all done robotically. So you went in, there was a kiosk, give me a burger, give me, whatever, extra lettuce, no tomato, give me fries, give me this, give me that. And it was all prepared by robots. Everything was robots. And then when you got done, it even like bagged it, put it on this little cart, and you told it what table you were sitting at, and it would drive it out. On the kiosk, it said, add a tip. For who?
Or
who
what?
am I tipping?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm sitting here going like, is the robot that's cooking my fries going to like, oh, hey, Travis gave me a 20% tip. I'm going to kick off with a premium quart of Pennzoil on the way home tonight. Who am I tipping?
Exactly.
This tip jar society has gone out of control.
Yeah, it's something else. Sometimes it's a software thing, although with any of that software, you can just flip a switch, a flag, and not do that.
Right.
But I was at a shoe store a year ago where they flip it around after I pay and they want a tip 10, 15, 20. I'm like,
a tip
are
on
you
shoes.
kidding? I'm like, no, nobody helped us try on shoes. Nobody put them back in the box. You lady didn't even put them back properly because I'm the one that put them back and I'm a hot mess. We all know. I'm like, no, I'm not tipping you. And then you almost, for me anyway, then I almost feel guilty. Like, well, am I supposed to? Like, is everybody tipping?
Right.
Or, you know what? I think we've really hugely lost that as a society.
Yeah.
If you're serving me, it's an entirely different story. I'll
Serving
easily
me
give
well.
you a tip.
Serving me well.
Serving me well is how much I will tip you. I tip pretty much no matter what, but I will let a waiter or waitress know why I didn't tip them the full amount. If I only tip them 10% or 15%, I'll let them know.
So
they
if
may
you
have
get
done a lot
crappy
of things
service,
right.
you're giving 10%.
Well, just define crappy. It's a perspective. I mean, if it's super bad, I probably would not give them anything. I've never had it that bad. But if they like this specific one that comes to my mind, she didn't bring me water twice when she asked if I wanted more water. But our food was great. She was tentative to making sure our salads came with dressing on the side. There were a lot of things she did really well, but I just thought that's not a 25% tip, which is what I normally tip. No way.
Are you serious?
I do. I tip 25%.
Holy crap. I should just follow you around. I'll be like your personal waiter at 25%.
I've been doing it my whole life. I'll be living out of the back of a van someday, so you can just help me then.
In a van down by the river.
That's where I'm going to go. I'll be living down there. You can come help me out. You can give me a tip like, Gary, you should have saved better and not given it away. But no, I will. I mean, I've done, I remember doing that job. And I remember getting stiffed. There was nothing worse than that, where it's like, I worked my butt off. You had everything you needed when you needed it. I wasn't there too much. I wasn't there too little. Your wife said she loved me and I was one of the best servers she ever had. And you didn't leave me a dime. Maybe it's just jealous. I don't know what that was about, but it's terrible because you're making, well, at the time,
making $2-3 an
hour. It was Chubbyville at the time on 27th and Vine.
Oh, I never heard of that.
So aging myself. Yeah, you're right.
Before Travis.
Yes. You weren't even a glimmer. Your parents may not. We're probably my age. Anyway, and it's a terrible feeling because at the time I think we were getting like 50 cents an hour.
Okay.
Probably equivalent to the $2.40 now. But anyway, yeah.
And I'm not opposed to tipping.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But I am opposed to if you're not doing your job.
Yeah, you don't get a tip.
Yeah.
A good tip anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So we were back in Ohio over the weekend for a game. And we went to there's a restaurant called Swenson's, and it's a fast food restaurant. And these people run. I don't know how they get their people to do this. It's kind of a Sonic type place.
Uh-huh.
You pull in when you're ready to order, you turn your headlights on. They come running out the door. I mean, running out the door.
That's funny.
Get your order, run back in. And these people, it's like, these people are hustling. I'm tipping these people. And it's a fast food restaurant, which
Yeah.
is kind of crazy, but you're seeing them hustle for the service.
Yeah. Well, this whole robotic thing, it's coming to that big time.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all know it, right? And I can't, travel almost anymore when I travel either of the coasts. It's very rare that you could walk into a fast food restaurant that doesn't have a kiosk. That's just how you order.
Mhm.
If you want to go up to the counter to order, you can. There's one person that might come along every once in a while to take your order. I mean, it's pretty much you order from the kiosk.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing apps for everything, right? So you see in the
Mhm.
parking lot now, if you've ordered on your app, you just pull up and let them know you're there on the app and they bring your food out or whatever it might be. But I mean, we're just going to see more and more of that. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I can get the fast food places doing that because they don't have the luxury that a small restaurant owner has that can get his labor paid by tips,
Right.
now. And I'm sure that we'll probably get a restaurant owner here someday who's like, Gary, I remember when you said, and I might have a different opinion. I don't know
I'd love to
enough
hear
about it.
If
but
you're a restaurant owner, give us a
Yeah.
call. We'd love to talk to you.
yeah. And it's got to make a big difference. So I mean, I get it, but I am with you. If you're not given any kind of a service, I just don't tip.
Yeah.
And there's so many places now that want to give you a tip.
Yeah.
And what coffee shop was I at? I was at a coffee shop in Logan, Utah recently. Walked in, I was by myself. We were visiting a friend there and he was working for the day. So I walk in, I'm all by myself, go to get a coffee. I order the coffee. I just wanted a black coffee. Order the coffee. She gives me a cup and says the coffee's just right over there, and then turns her square machine around and wants a tip on my $3.50 coffee.
Here's a cup. Coffee's over there right next to my
I wanted to go,
tip jar.
here's your tip. Here's my cup. Bring it to my table.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
probably
no
sound like
kidding.
an old grumpy old man, don't I?
That is that. Again,
Anyway.
the tip jar society is getting crazy. But as a business owner, you have to be aware if your employees are putting out tip jars, the shoe store, for example, if
Right.
that guy is listening, you might want to take that away because for me, I'm so sick of society with their handout. I will actually stop going to businesses if you're asking for a tip and you're in a ridiculous, you're selling me shoes and asking for a tip. I won't go back.
I'll also say this was a shoe store where my daughter goes, Dad, don't give that girl any crap. Dad, don't get, because I always tease the checkers when I go up there. And literally there's 4 high school girls working. They all kind of look the same. And they all have the spiel when you come up. Thank you for shopping at Blanks. Did you find everything you were looking for today? Is there anything more I can help you with? Just like a little broken record, right? So I get up there and she says that and everything. And I go, yeah, so I have my coupon for the baby yak food, which you guys usually always have in the size 10 aisle, but I can't find it. You have the adult yak food, but my yaks are little and I need the little yak food. Are you getting back in? And she goes, well, what was that? And I go, so my daughter runs out the door. She's just like, I hate you, Dad. And I go, yeah, the baby yak food. And she goes, just a minute, I'll go ask the manager. So she toodles off. Well, the manager's looking at me, her back's to me, talk to the manager. The manager moves her head to the side and she goes, oh my God. She mouths, oh my God. So the gal comes back and she goes, we don't have rain checks for that. I go, okay, whatever. Then she turns and wants a tip. I should have tipped her.
Yeah, that one.
Just for that, but
yeah.
still. Anyway.
That's hilarious. Well, we have a hard break, so news at the top of the hour here. So you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're just talking today.
Yeah.
And we will talk more right after this break.
and 99.3 KLIN.
And you're back on the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're just talking, kind of interviewing me, but kind of not, because I don't shut up long enough for you to ask a question.
So true.
So, third segment is brought to us by Sartor Heyman Jewelers and Red Rhino Roofing. Getting ready to sign another contract with Red Rhino to do another roof for me.
Yeah, you guys got hit.
Yeah, we got hammered. We got hammered.
Yeah.
And this segment is also our 5 takeaways segment. And 5 takeaways is sponsored by Nebraska Farmers Network, keeping Nebraska land, Nebraska owned. Love those guys.
Yeah,
absolutely love what they're
and
doing.
for our listeners, if you're not familiar with them, go to our you can just Google 402 Business Insider. You'll get to our home page, and you can find all the podcasts there. You can also find them on KLIN's webpage.
Yep. Apple,
Spotify, wherever you want to look.
You
But there's Nebraska Farmers Network was on, and that's a good show to listen to if you haven't heard about it. What they're doing for Nebraska is awesome.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's Gabe Sanchez is his name. So as you're going through, you're looking for names, Gabe. It was about I think maybe in August or something that we did that. So 5 takeaways. So mine all kind of tie together. And number 1 is the overlying blanket of my 5 takeaways is making sure that you have the right people in the right position. I can't tell you how many times I've seen, because I did sales for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And if you want to turn your number 1 salesperson into a dud, make him a sales manager, right? So how many times have you seen that?
Over and over.
You go, gosh, this guy can kill at sales. Let's make him a sales manager, and he should be able to get all the salespeople doing what he's doing.
Yeah, that's so wrong.
It's not the same job. Just because the word sales is in it doesn't mean it's the same job.
And it goes back to what I talked about when I think there's still over a hangover of these people from the 80s and 90s in business. When you'd go to every conference, I brought this up before. And at the conference, all the speakers would be about how to make yourself better at the things you're not good at. And that was always the big push. You know, if you can't comprehend what you read, do this class for 12 months and put yourself basically through hell, because obviously you don't like to read and comprehend it. And, you know, you don't really get better, which somebody that's really good in it takes the same class and they get exponentially better. So it kind of goes back to no square pegs in a round hole. Those types of things all make a difference. What would make more sense, of course, in that situation is to put a salesperson that maybe needed a little extra help as a mentee with this person going out on sales calls for a few weeks, right? That would make sense. But suddenly they're the manager in charge. And also, by the way, they're usually the worst. Like, it's like getting somebody that quit smoking to go talk to somebody about quitting smoking.
Yeah.
They're just not going to like you from the start. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, oh my, I did it. You can, you know, that type of a thing. It's, I don't know.
Well, and when I actually worked, I did sales at KLIN 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And back then, Amy Graham, who's now the general manager, she was my sales manager.
Yeah.
And she would pair me with a newbie every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I was horrible. I mean, I had 0 tolerance for people. I would take them out on sales. I know. Yeah.
No.
It was. and it didn't take her very long, because she was an excellent sales manager. It didn't take her very long to go, okay, don't put the new guy with Travis. Travis is kind of an a-hole, you know? So
new people are leaving in droves.
Yeah. Well, there's
what's
probably
the common denominator, Travis?
Yeah. It's a put your head down and go to work. That's my management style. And that's why I'm not a manager.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely making sure that you have the right people in the right position. And if you have somebody on your team that's not doing well, don't just assume that they're terrible at that job, but also take a look at them and go, they might be a better fit somewhere else within the company, because it's hard to find people right now.
Yeah.
They might be a fit and they might be a dud. But
yeah, you don't know till you try.
Yeah, exactly. If you have something else, there may be a need. They may be a fit. Now, obviously, it's not as easy as I'm laying out, because we have a 17-minute segment here.
Well, and go back to Tim Cunningham when he was on here.
Oh, Kirkpatrick.
Kirkpatrick. I will always call him.
We're just going to call him that. We're going to call him.
That's okay.
Richie Cunningham.
And don't let that bother yourself, Brad. So, Tim Kirkpatrick, I just have to say that a few times. His show is really good, talking about hire for your culture. Hire somebody that fits in your culture. You can train him for almost anything. Now, maybe not sales. There's a little bit about sales that you got to be a salesperson, but you know, protecting your culture includes having the right people in the right spots.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you don't, one person in one bad spot can rule the whole. It's like an apple. A bad apple can ruin all the other apples. I used to say that. I wonder if there's any truth to that. Anyway, but makes sense.
It does. It does. My next one is don't manage people like you're managing tasks. I see this a lot, and this is where tasks are very mechanical. People are relational. You can't go in, because again, this is what makes me a bad manager, is I can go in. To me, it's very simple. You get in, here's the task, you get it done, off you go. But that would make me a lousy sales manager because it's not relational. You have to really connect with people. Doesn't mean you need to be their buddy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that's a disaster all on its own.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, connecting with people and managing them, not like it's a checkbox. I see a lot of that.
Yeah, you kind of want to walk along beside them more
Yes.
so than trying to guide them or have them on a leash or bound, those types of things. You got to let people succeed.
Well, and you manage them like a task. You micromanage is essentially what you do.
Yeah. I also, and this may be one of your next three, I don't know.
We'll
I haven't
find
looked
out.
at them, but I think another real important thing is to make sure the people that are working for you or with you have what they need to succeed. That's
Yes.
really one of your biggest tasks as either a manager or owner of a business,
Yeah.
right? And that can walk right alongside what you're talking about here.
I worked for, this was a different radio outfit
Did you get
before I
fired
worked
there
at this
too?
one. I did not get fired there.
I know. I'm just giving
I
you a
probably
hard
should have
time.
a couple of times, but they must have went to some seminar and it was all the tools to win, right? And then they gave you absolutely no
Of
tools.
course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that became the punchline.
Yeah.
It was
Well-
soon as we needed something, all the tools to win. No, you
Yeah.
can't have that.
My I had an employee one time who said, "So what is it you're going to this weekend? One of the shows you're doing?" I go, "No, it's actually a conference and everything." "Oh, okay. And you're coming back Sunday?" "Yeah, I'll be back Monday." "Yeah." And they'd be sick on Monday. And Tuesday they'd come back to work and they'd go, not really sad. And they said, "Oh my God, the conference went great and everything." "Oh, good." And then after a while, one of my employees goes, "She always calls in sick the day after you come back from a conference because you blow in here and you're like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to do that without any plan or anything because I'm always the big idea guy, So, yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Oh, Shannon used to work for a bank, right? And
Yeah,
you
she
remember
talked
when the
about that.
book Fish came out?
Yes.
And the one when I worked at the other radio station, they had Who Moved My Cheese,
Who Moved My
which is
Cheese
a turd.
big one.
Absolute turd of a book. I can't stand that book. But then everybody tries to implement this book that somebody just read or seminar that they just went to into their business. Fish works for the fish market in Seattle. It does not work for a bank, right? We can't throw a $100 bill. Hey, I need some more 50s over here. Yep, throw them some 50. It doesn't work, and even the mindset doesn't work. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's true. But Who Moved My Cheese would have been good for you, Travis, for work-life balance. I know you love that so much.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the third one that I have, moving on, as I hear these nails going
Quickly.
across the chalkboard, is as a leader, the buck stops with you. This is something that I have had experience as an employee and an employer, making sure that if something goes wrong, you, the leader, need to step up and take responsibility.
Yep.
And I see this so much where, so-and-so didn't get that done. Who's running this show? You're running this show.
Yeah.
You didn't get it done. Face the customer. Let them know what happened. Let them know how you take responsibility and make the correction.
Yeah.
From there.
So I worked for a person that did the exact opposite of that, owned a large flower shop here in town, one which I ended up buying. But, in that business, you designed things, right?
Mhm.
So we would design something and the customer would come into the back room. It's sitting on my desk where I just designed it. And, she'd be like, "Oh, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen you make." Talking to my boss, who's like, "Thank you. I worked on it all morning." Da, 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 da. And I'm like standing right there, like, I could just puke on you right now. Anyway, it's like, whatever. I don't really care. Pay me. That's good. Until one time right in front of, I'm kind of off to the side, but there was an event that didn't go quite right because his instructions were wrong in writing. We all did what we were sent with. She comes in upset about it, as she should have been, probably gotten a refund, and he's throwing us all under the bus.
Oh,
I don't know what's wrong with these people. Then I'm like, one of these people's right here, but and it's truth to that. It just totally ruined the culture.
yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Everybody felt like, well, why bother to be, not that he would have had to praise or laud me or anything like that, but just call it what it is. Right. And I was that way I was not that way in my business. I would always, the buck would stop with me no matter what.
Yep.
But my dad would always say, in life, it's not the mistakes you make, it's what you do about them that counts. So I never made my employees feel bad or throw it on them if the mistake was made. It stopped with me. It was my business, right?
Yep.
Either I wasn't overseeing things properly or whatever. We're all human. We all make mistakes. But then the big thing, and you've mentioned this before, then is afterwards go. And I think, Tim, it's Kirkpatrick, by the way.
Yes,
not
it is.
Cunningham. That guy also mentioned this, that's fine. You take the blame, you own up to it, but then you talk to the employee and make sure, okay, now what did we learn? What's the lesson we learned, and move forward.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Oh,
I love that one. That's a big, important one.
well, and you actually touched on one of them, because whoops, as I drop it on the floor. Number 4, I was going to have you read it. Give the glory to your team.
There you go. Yes.
If you find success, you're going to get rewarded.
Yep.
Financially, your
Yeah.
business is going to get rewarded. Give the glory to your team. Give
Right.
them the praise, give them the credit, because really, they're the ones that help put it together.
Well, and there's several reasons to do it. Another one that I would bring up. You have a marketing company, so it's very creative. You have to create, right?
Yep.
And so I owned a flower shop when I did that. So I had to create, right? So if every one of my customers thought I was always the one creating, what happens when I'm gone for a week or I'm at a funeral or something? And it's like, oh my gosh, nobody else can do anything. Gary always does it. So I always loved getting the credit to somebody else because it lifted them up. It kept me from
Absolutely.
having to do everything. And like you said, it takes a team.
Yeah, absolutely. It builds your culture. And I've seen this so many times. One of my favorite stories, I won't mention names, but I was working for this group, and it was like 3 days to the end of the month. And it was the first month that we weren't going to make goal as a team. And the boss comes in and goes, hey, I don't remember the number, so I'm just going to throw out like $10,000 short for the month. If you can get out there, if you can make it happen, anything you can do would be fantastic. Well, that's kind of like my wheelhouse. I can go out there, I can put those last minute deals together. And I did, and put a big deal together. And somebody else, the manager, and they're not at this radio station, so don't read into that. And so the manager put a deal together, and the next Monday morning we're at a sales meeting, and he's like, oh, we did it. We killed it. Travis and I both put a couple of sales together, and we brought this thing across the finish line. And because of the two of us, we made goal. And I'm sitting there, I'm steaming.
Yeah, because
right?
he didn't do diddly squat.
No, he did. And we get done with this rah-rah meeting. And I go into my office, I sit down, I'm irritated as all could be. And a friend of mine, who is also a friend of yours, comes in and goes, wow, you guys really killed it. You guys did something amazing. How much of that $10,000 did you bring in? I said, $9,800. Right. And so the other person brought in, did a $400 deal, and I did like a $9,800 deal. And of course, she starts laughing, right? And then the whole thing turned around because I went from irritated to, what a schmuck.
Does her name rhyme with Sam?
Yes, it does. As a matter of fact,
I know what you're talking about. I
we
love
could
her,
say
by
it
the
was
way.
Pam. It was Pam. I love Pam. She's still a close friend of mine.
But she's so sweet.
But we were howling over it. Now, I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Beyond her, she did, and she told everybody.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and it did. It ruined. It didn't ruin the culture, but it made things uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah,
because
no kidding.
It's like, wow, why are you stealing the glory from somebody else?
And plus, studies have shown that 67% of employees would rather have recognition oftentimes an appreciation shown to them, even more so than a raise sometimes, just to
I'm not
let
that
them know
employee.
what they well, that's why you work for yourself.
That's right. Yes. But yeah,
I love it.
it was absolutely hilarious
Yeah.
looking back. But at the time, it's like, And
Yeah, it's a tough one.
here's the other kicker is once word had gotten around, then came the phony accolades afterwards, right? Which it's a, hey, you didn't thank me at the appropriate time. Now then it comes out over the top, thank you. And it's like, take your thank you and head on down the road.
Yeah.
Right. Because
Yeah.
that doesn't work either. It's in business, when you're managing people, you're managing employees. If you screw up, the buck stops with you.
Yeah, own it.
You need to own it.
Just own it.
You need to own it. You need to step in, and you can't flowery bull squirt your way through a phony thank you, congratulation accolade, because that makes it even worse. So yes, give the glory to your team.
Right.
Last one is always, underline always, defend your team, because not just because your team is going to make mistakes no matter what. And you need to stand up for them because everybody's watching. All your other employees are watching. And so this is at Transformation Marketing. We had a client who went through a change, at the top. It was a new CEO, and I was gone on appointments or something. And I came back, and this gal that worked for me, she was with me for like 10 years. Name's Lacey, sweetheart of a girl. And she came into my office when I got back. She fielded this phone call from this guy, and you could see that she had been crying. And
I know this story. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could tell she was crying.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her like, oh my gosh, like,
what happened?
Maybe her mom or dad passed away, or grandma passed away, because that's how she looked, puffy, swollen, the whole thing. And she said that this particular client had called, and she didn't have an answer for something, and he just read her the riot act, called her every name in the book, and was just completely awful to her. And I just sat and I listened, and I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. It's not. Sometimes people have off days, right? Because I'm not going to start this, this person is bad or anything like. I'm not going to start stirring things up. But it was don't worry about it. We're going to be fine. Don't take this personally, and just kind of moved her on from it.
Yeah.
Then this goes back to number one, making sure you have the right people in the right place. I am not the right people in this instance. Right. Shannon would have handled this so much better because, I called him. Oh, buddy, I called him.
I remember.
And I said, not quite sure. And I'm because we're on the radio, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I said, but I said, this don't work.
Right.
And if you don't make a phone call and straighten this out with a sincere apology, I'm coming up to your office.
Yep.
And I'm that person. Again, make sure you have the right people in the right place, position. Yeah. So I told this guy I was going to come up and let the air out of his tires. And of course, this person calls and apologizes to Lacey. And she came back in about 5 or 10 minutes later. And she's like, hey, you'll never believe who called. You were right. Must have been having an off day, made an apology. I never once told her what had transpired.
Yeah. Until now.
Because it doesn't matter. I'm sure she's not listening now. So I hope she is, because she was a spectacular employee. Yeah. And so she left my office feeling better. I picked up the phone. I called this client back. I said, hey, I apologize for being over the top, but that don't go around here. But I do appreciate the fact that you picked up the phone, made the call, and you're fired. I will put a jump drive with all your files and all your stuff in, and we will send it to you as soon as we get the last payment, but you need to start looking for a new ad agency. And that was the end of it.
Yeah.
And it was a big client. It was a big client, but I'm here to tell you, we would have failed every step of the way with this client because everybody now hated this client because they know who he is. Yeah. And you don't treat my people like that.
Or anyone.
You don't treat anyone like that.
Yeah.
So there you go. As in business, that's kind of a two rolled back into one. Make sure the right people are in the right place, because I'm not the right people in that place. But defend your team.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was 5 takeaways. That was 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Something that you can apply to your business on Monday morning. And of course, 5 takeaways is brought to us by Nebraska Farmers Network, keeping Nebraska land Nebraska owned. Go check them out. Nebraska Farmers Network. Google it. NebraskaFarmersNetwork.com. Check out all the things they're doing. They're doing a lot more than just buying ag line.
Oh, yeah.
So we appreciate them as a sponsor. We got a break coming up. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider, and we will be back right after this.
Listening to the 402 Business Insider, and thanks for hanging with us through that break. And if you're just now listening, I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate, and with me is my co-host Travis Filing from Transformation Marketing. We're kind of finding out about Travis today, which is kind of fun. So this segment's sponsored by the Lincoln Airport, James Arthur Vineyards, and Lincoln Coin and Boyan, all really good companies. Airport's going to have their movies again. I think they have one more at the end of this month. You can find out about it. LNK. Just Google LNK and you'll find out about that. That's kind of fun. And then one thing fun we do in this segment is called the unexpected impact. So if you're especially if you're a car collision place, this would be a fantastic place for you to sponsor this segment.
Yes,
we'd be throwing love on you all the time, every week, which is really great for the sponsorship. It's a fantastic deal. So give us a call if you're looking for somebody to something to sponsor and some good marketing. This is the place to come. So yeah, it'd be really good. Travis, so we're finding out about you today and transformation marketing. So what in the world were you thinking when you opened your own business, and why?
Oh my gosh. When I started the business, well, I helped Shannon start the business.
Right.
And honestly, I started it. Shannon was working at a bank. We had 2 kids. They were very close together. They were not quite Irish twins, because they were like 14 months, 15 months apart. And so getting killed with
daycare, everything, you name it.
Goodness. Yeah. So Shannon decided to be a stay-at-home mom. That worked for about a month. Because Shannon is very go.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what? I hate, because I was a sales guy here at KLIN at the time. And I'm like, I hate paperwork. I hate turning in my purple sheets and green sheets and TPS reports, all those things. And I thought, you know what? Why don't you come to work for me? You could be my assistant. You could fill out all my traffic instructions for commercials and clients and follow up and stuff like that. And she's like, that would be great. Learned a very valuable lesson. I can take orders from my wife. My wife cannot take orders from me. Right.
Yep. She's going to be king.
Yes.
Happy wife, happy life. That went out the window.
I can leave whatever happened 9 to 5. I can leave it at the office. She cannot.
Yep.
So yeah, it was strenuous. Yeah. And so I thought, you know what? I had a client, it was a seed company, and they were looking for help. We were finding success for them locally, but they wanted to duplicate that success regionally. And so I introduced them to Shannon. That's how the business started.
Awesome.
Yeah, she was buying radio.
So really, it basically started through work-life balance. Like
absolutely.
You were able to work 9 to 5 and leave it, and she wasn't.
Yes, go to work. You have no life, and balance is just making sure you don't fall over, running from job to job.
I'm wearing Kevlar today.
But for unexpected impact, I was kind of thinking about this because we've had so many things. You've had so many things in your
Sure.
business that have fallen apart. I've had
Oh,
so
yeah.
many things that have fallen apart.
It's part of life.
And I thought instead of sharing one particular story, I would share a story that my dad told me when I was very young.
Okay.
And it stuck with me my whole life. And when I had things unexpected happen, I fell back on this story and it got me through it, right? And so and I will clean it up because you didn't have the privilege of meeting my dad. My dad was a hard guy.
I gather
right?
that from stories I've heard.
And wonderful man,
Sure.
but very hard. So I'm going to clean this up as best I can as David's got his finger hovering over the dump button.
That's right, dump button.
But this is about life's crap sandwich, right? And when I was young, my dad would always tell me, he goes, look, there are points in your life where everything seems to be going right. And all of a sudden, life is going to put a big crap sandwich right in front of you. And you got two choices. You can eat it and move on, or you can take the next 6 months of your life pissing on about how this sucks and woe is me and why us and this ain't fair. Then eat it and move on. But let me be crystal clear on one point, son. You're eating it, right? And as a young,
sooner or later.
yes, yeah. And from my
Yeah.
experience, there's only one way to eat a crap sandwich. That's hot.
And quick.
Just take it and get it over with.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's happening. Because things are going to fall apart. I can tell you, in fact, in our This Needs Adjustment story, I got a story. It is a big sandwich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you just need to just rip that Band-Aid off and you need to move on. Because if you don't, it'll consume you. You start going down these rabbit holes and your business could really tank.
Oh yeah,
You
well,
could
your
lose.
team is going to feel, they're going to feed off of your emotions and attitudes and exactly. I mean, that's such good advice in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the reverse of it is the other day I was chatting with someone as a mastermind group, and he goes, I was talking about, I have this one situation that I just is driving me like every chance I get to make the phone call, I don't want to do it because I'm, whatever. He goes, man, he goes, eat that crap first in the morning. First
Yeah.
thing in the morning, just do the worst, most difficult task you have. And then the day's a breeze.
Yeah, it's easy.
And so very next morning I took care of it. And I was like, first off, it was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. It actually turned out to be a really good call. And I was just like, why did I do that? But it's kind of the reverse of what you're talking about. Kind of the same thing,
It's the
though.
same thing.
When it happens, you just got to, eventually you're going to have to eat that sandwich and deal with it. There is,
Yep.
by the way, it's not sandwich, it's sandwich.
Sandwich.
Yes.
I
Oh my
can't
God.
say sandwich.
Okay.
It's such a mouthful.
Is that
for
it?
me.
Can you say
In fact,
ambulance?
Yeah,
Because I
can
have a
say
friend that says
ambulance.
ambulance.
No, I
and
don't
I'm
say
like, no,
that.
don't say that. That's really bad. Don't.
No,
And
it's a
he's like,
sandwich.
it's not ambulance. Nope, not ambulance. It's not sandwich.
But when
Anyway,
you
that's
look
kind of
at
funny.
when you
That's very
look at-
Cleveland.
it is.
Give me
It
a
really
sandwich.
is. Side note: my son brought home some desserts the other day,
Yeah.
and the rainbow sprinkles thing.
Okay.
Those are Jimmy's. Where I grew
Oh,
up, those are
Jimmy's.
Jimmy's. And
It's
I
funny.
open up, I go, who the hell put Jimmy's on my? And he goes, what? Yeah, it's
a
like
Jimmy's.
you can start telling where people are
Are
from
from.
by
Yep.
weird little things that they say.
Coke, soda, pop,
Uh,
soda.
Yeah, it's soda.
On the East Coast, it's
Yep.
soda. Here, it's a pop.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
funny.
yeah. So when you start looking in business, it's gonna happen. No matter what, just move on.
Well, and
just
in
take the
life.
hit and go.
In
Yeah,
life,
in
too.
life
Anyway,
too.
that's
Absolutely.
good advice no matter what. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've told a few people about this. It really is something worth just write it down. Think about it. It's going to happen. Bad things
Oh,
are going to
yeah, all the
happen.
time.
Economy's going to tank. People are going to quit. Clients are going to quit. They're going to leave. It happens. Move forward because I have seen people get paralyzed with fear.
Well, I've shared this story before, but I got paralyzed with fear when I was first a realtor because I had to call somebody with really bad news about their transaction or their house or something. And I would just I didn't eat my sandwich right away. I
Yep.
didn't. I was just like messing with it. Finally walked into one of my colleagues' offices who's a little older than I am, but was a realtor his entire life, where I haven't been. And I'm like, God, I'm really struggling with this, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, Gary, look, number one thing to think of is that you didn't make the sandwich. Well, he
There
didn't
you
say
go.
that, but
You're
I'm saying
saying it
it how he
right.
did. Yeah. You didn't make the sandwich, right? But you do have to deliver it. So just deliver it. It's a sandwich. You didn't make it. You didn't cause it. Now, since it's the wrong sandwich and not what they want, have some solutions when you make the
Yeah.
call, but get it done. And then it just changed my mindset to become much more solution minded to big challenges that I was looking at as like being a nightmare, because I'm helping somebody try to get out of their house, and this nightmare came up that's going to cost thousands of dollars. And then my phrase became this last year. My phrase, I don't just have a word, I have a phrase. It always works out in the end.
Yeah.
And almost everything always works out in the end.
Yeah.
Maybe not how you want it to, but it works out.
Yeah. And you will typically lose more sleep over it than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you remember letting people go.
Yes, I was
It'll
just
take
thinking
2
that.
weeks.
Yes,
And
and
it's
you
like
don't
you
sleep.
just get yourself psyched up to do it, and then you chicken out.
Yep.
And
Listen, I remember doing that once for like 3 weeks and had my manager and 2 other employees that were like, "Are you gonna do this or not?" And the day I'm finally like, I'm finally gonna be a 48-year-old man and do this. And she walks into my office and she bought me this really cool thing for my guitar because she knows I'm a musician.
Geez.
And she goes, I just want to let you know what a great boss you are.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, because I kept you on.
Oh,
Is that why I'm a great boss?
goodness.
It was terrible. And so it was another week before I let her go. But it's the worst.
Man, that's
that is the
tough.
hardest thing for a
It
business
is.
owner.
It
It's
is. Well, I
terrible.
told you did I tell you the story about Ed Nix,
Yes.
that buddy of mine?
Yep.
He said, if you don't fire this person by Friday, I'm coming down and doing it for you.
Right.
And he was dead serious.
Yeah. And he would have done it.
And he would have done it, and he wouldn't have tiptoed around it, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it motivated me to get it done. But yeah. Oh, unbelievable. So there you go. There is your unexpected impact. How to deal with your unexpected impact, because
Right.
they're coming.
And the importance of dealing with it
Yeah, absolutely.
when they happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when you have an unexpected impact, you could go to Fill in the Blank Body Shop here, who's not sponsoring this segment right now.
Yes, which would be awesome.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, we got a break coming up. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish, you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. And coming up next, this needs an adjustment.
There we go.
3 KLIN.
Hello and welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. I'm Gary Thornish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate, and with me, my co-host Travis Filing with Transformation Marketing. He's a good guy. Don't listen to what the other people have never said. Anyway, this segment is sponsored by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce and Integrated Behavioral Health Services, which every time I say that, I feel like I have to be sent there.
I need to be sent there. They could open up a branch.
I know, right?
To me.
Exactly. Like, you need to study the brain. Here's one. Good luck. And they'd probably say,
Yes.
no, thank you. Anyway, thank you so much for sponsoring. Both of those sponsors are fantastic. If you're a small business, you're not a member of the chamber, become one, because you're not out in that ocean all by yourself. There's a lot of us out there that have been through things you're going through. So it's a great place to network, and just an awful lot of great stuff.
And they do such a great job representing business owners and business people and executives.
Yeah.
That's the one membership I will never get rid of.
You know, Jason and his team are exactly what we've been talking about today, what you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, really, when I think about it, when I was in here, when we interviewed him and listening to him, he's a good leader that way. He'll take it for the team every time. I'll bet you $1 million.
Yep.
So this segment is called Our This Needs an Adjustment, and it is sponsored by Ascend Chiropractic. So Brian, one of the doctors out there, his wife Olivia, and the other doctors there and their staff are just fantastic. Full disclosure, he's my chiropractor. He does an absolutely fantastic job. So Ascend Chiropractic, Google them and give them a call to help you out when you need an adjustment. And speaking of adjustments, businesses often need an adjustment.
All
and
the time.
we often talk about your inner perception of your business and your outer perception, and then people's perception of your business from the outside looking in. So I just wanted to tell you, for transformation marketing, Travis, as I look in from the outside, what's your problem? No, I'm kidding. You have a good story though about a time in your business career and life when it really needed an adjustment, and oftentimes they're very difficult.
Oh man. And that's what I think I love most about this segment, is it kind of pulls that mask off, because we live in this Facebook world where everything is Skittles and rainbows and my life is falling apart. But man, when I get online and I look at David, I look at Gary, everything seems to be going their way. And what, right?
Not for you, David. I'm laughing at myself. I don't.
I was laughing at David.
Producer's David. This poor guy here. He's a young guy starting out in life, and he's probably like, I've learned so much from Travis and Gary of what I don't want to be when I grow up. Anyway,
but you do. We live in this phony, false world, and we think that every business has got it going together, and they're facing no problems, and they have no troubles. And trust me, it's the old duck on a pond thing.
Yeah, I was really, I don't want to say surprised. I remember when I first started hearing the studies of young people, especially teenagers, that were taking their lives over stuff that was on social media. And, old fogey that I am, I'm like, well, don't watch, media or whatever. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I know how important that is for my kids. Right. And then when you really dug deep into it, and I started reading articles about it, it's exactly what you just said. It's that it's so easy to look at Facebook and go, and I don't want to just pick on Facebook, almost any of those, and just go, life is, roses and wine and beer and joy for everybody but me.
Right.
Because nobody hops on Facebook and goes, I made a really poor decision yesterday and I lost $50,000 and I've been having a problem with gambling, and it's really a difficult thing. And that,
nobody gets on and says that.
It's hard for us to talk about that.
Yeah.
And yet so important to do, because so many business I don't want to say so many. I think a lot of businesses could, especially newer businesses and new entrepreneurs, could be helped by those of us that made mistakes prior to them and never really talked about them. I mean, when I started a business, we didn't even have the internet. So, I'm an ancient old, I'm a fossil.
You and me both.
I'm a fossil business person. But business in general, all the principles are still there, and the communication is really important. But you're right. Yeah, it can look like everything's wonderful. So you had a situation where it wasn't really wonderful. And it was Shannon's fault.
And absolutely, every time.
Okay, I knew it.
Every time.
I knew it. I have no idea what he's going to talk about, but I got to give Shannon some trouble this week.
Well, the one thing that when you were talking that popped into my head, the one gift I wish I could get in a room with high school kids and college kids and whatnot, the one gift my dad gave me was the ability not to give a crap what anybody thinks of me. And if you can master that, it's not easy. It's really not. But there are so many people out there who they just spit venom and people take it personally. don't give a crap about them.
Right.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what your opinion of me is.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
that's
good.
obvious with your wardrobe, but
That's right.
so you have, okay, I'm just kidding. We're friends, so I can say that. Look at what I'm wearing. That is so true. I remember one of the first complaints I got when I opened my business, from a lady that just tore me up one side down the other. And I hung up and I'm like, I probably never should open this business. I'm terrible. But I mean, I took it totally from the emotional standpoint. Nothing analytical is going through my mind at all. I'm just like, I suck. She's right, And then, and it was my mom who was working for me when I very first opened, who said, "What are you doing?" She says, like, "You can't let that get you down." She goes, "First off, she's wrong. Excuse me, this is what happened," so on and so forth. But it is so easy to get into that trap of feeling like what so many other people think is really important. Now, what your clients think of your service and your product's important.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
if they want to
yes.
start on an attack of something else or whatever, that's not. But it's the complaints when that really can take you, really bring you down for sure.
Yeah. And I'm just saying this mostly on a personal level.
Yeah.
Just if you have kids, whatever, just start coaching them up.
All
because
around. Yep.
I'll tell you what, the world's full of some weird people out there.
Oh,
just don't give a crap what they think about you.
I always told my kids, they're going to hate me that I'm even saying it on the radio. I would always say, look, life's not fair. And they would be like, that didn't solve my problem. I'm like, life's not fair. It's just not fair. And then all of them as adults at one point in time goes, well, yeah, life's not fair. I mean, it's not. The sooner you learn that, the better it is to just move on, eat your sandwich, move on.
That's right.
I'm going to say sandwich the rest of my life. I am never going to forgive you for this.
Do you know what I used to tell my kids when they go, this isn't fair? I go, do you want fair? I will make it fair. I will make your lives very fair. And inevitably my kids would go, no, because they know if you want fair, I will treat you the exact same.
Yeah.
You want socialism? I'll deliver. Right? I will make it very fair and you will be miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny.
Well, I know. I get on a tangent. Here we go. We'll have to kick our adjustment story to the next segment, but because we only have about 2 minutes left and I can't just barely scratch the surface on my story. But yeah, that was probably the biggest gift that my dad gave me is not caring. And I get on Facebook. I've led organizations where I'm an easy shot for people. Don't care.
Yeah.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
If you're having trouble completing the joke, I'll help you. Take a shot at me.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's an absolute gift if you can do it. Well, let's run to a break. And then when we come back, we will do This Needs an Adjustment, getting a little extra love for the chiropractor today.
Yeah. Big time.
So this is the 402 Business Insider, Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish. We're going to be back right after this.
KLIN.
And we're back on the 402 Business Insider. Travis Filing, Gary Tharnish with the last segment, which is now This Needs an Adjustment, because Travis just can't see. This is why we don't interview Travis. Travis doesn't shut up. So This Needs an Adjustment, brought to us by Ascend Chiropractic. So, and I forgot. This segment is also brought to us by Wyuka Cemetery and the Barry Law Firm. Those guys are doing cool work with veterans. And I can't wait to get them in here to talk about that. But for me, back to This Needs an Adjustment. This was probably, maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, it's not that long.
Yeah, not that long ago. Shannon and I bought a franchise. And I can't say what the franchise was. But we bought it, and we thought we did our due diligence. We started calling. They go, "Oh, here's a list of other franchisees that you can call and ask them anything you want." Didn't stop to go, okay, well, these aren't the people I want to talk to, right? Because if I go, "Oh, how good is your ad agency?" I'd go, "Well, call Gary Tharnish because we've done work for you." Well, of course, I'm going to give them your number because you're going to do good work, or because we do good work. So we didn't stop to think, we need to call people who are not on this list.
That are franchise owners.
That are franchise owners that are going to tell me the truth about what it is to be a franchisee. Didn't even think of that, right? So you call all these people and, it's wonderful. And it's just raining gold coins on my head every time I wake up in the morning. And so we signed and didn't get a franchise lawyer, which would have been smart.
Right.
All the lessons come when you fail. Oh, right.
Yeah. And they're costly.
Usually.
Franchises that had to be costly.
It was a 10 or a 15 year agreement.
Ooh, geez.
Yeah, buddy.
Jeez.
And this is why I love this segment.
Are you still in it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But this is why I love this segment, because here I am on the radio going, Travis failed.
Yeah.
Travis failed. 6 figures failed. Right?
Oh,
big. It
can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah.
And you get some of these slimy people out there that prey on anybody. And I own businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of businesses that are doing extremely well. And you get to this point where you go, I'm bulletproof, man. Everything that I touch is going to turn into gold.
And
And
just real quick, because I want to hear the whole story.
Yeah.
If I haven't already. But it really makes me think, and I use this in real estate a lot. And when I'm looking to buy real estate personally, I fail and I have to go, wait a minute, what do I tell my clients? I got to be doing that. But it's emotional versus analytical. When you buy something, are you buying it emotionally or analytical?
Yeah.
When you are buying a franchise, are you being emotional or analytical? You started calling on that list, it got really emotional. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's raining silver dollars. And, it doesn't rain cats and dogs anymore. It rains Bitcoin and cyber money. It's fantastic,
Exactly.
And your emotions get going. You're like, this is really fantastic. And then the analytical side goes away. And we looked at a property recently that we were like, this is so great. It's wonderful, whatever. And really, really loved it. Very unique property here in town. It's going to be on the market soon. This is an off-market property. And we were just like, it was like this place was built for us. Finally, the other night I said, okay, let's be analytical. Here's some of the things we wanted, knowing that in 5-6 years, we're going to spend December, January, February, someplace in the world at an Airbnb. And we started looking at it and we went, this place is terrible. This place would work terrible for our needs.
Yeah.
If I was your age, David, if I was in my 20s, it'd be great. I mean, it just worked perfect. So anyway, you're buying this franchise.
Yeah.
You're thinking about buying it. I'm going to guess you maybe got pretty emotional with it. Like, this sounds wonderful.
And it was a fit with Shannon's skill set.
Oh,
it was
God,
it was a dream fit. And then, of course, they're like, we're going to give you all these business materials.
Mm-hmm.
The owner, the franchisor, the guy who started this whole turd, he had written like 20 books. And you go, wow, 20 books. That's a lot. Never read them, or at least until I signed the contract. And you think, man, this guy's got it down. Shannon's skills, his tools. This is a win. So we sign. And it was funny because we had gone to we went to Hilton Head for one of their conventions, and I wasn't in it because it was not my skill set. So putting me in a meeting, wouldn't have been good, right? And so I was sitting out by the pool and I was reading one of these books. It was like a fifth grader wrote this book. It was the dumbest thing I'd ever, and it was like how to be a real estate billionaire or something like that, or investing in real estate or something like that. And it wasn't a real estate business, but we own real estate. And I'm like, well, it says real estate. I'm reading it because we have a real estate business.
Right.
And I'm reading through it and I'm like, this guy's principles are all wrong.
Oh no.
This is bad.
And at this point, it's too late. You've signed.
We're in.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's just this book. Maybe this guy is just a putz
He's got
on real
others.
estate. Right. There's 19 other ones. And so I started reading one on, I think it was like managing a team or something like that. And I'm like, there's no way in hell this guy manages a team unless it was in 1956, because these principles don't work.
Right.
And then another franchisee, him and his partner had come out and saw me. I never met these guys before. And they're like, oh, reading, such and such a book. And I go, yeah. And he goes, what do you think? Now, what do you say? Right? This is the biggest piece of I wouldn't put this in the men's room. Right? Because who knows who these guys are? Right. And I go, right? And you're going, and he goes, it's bad, isn't it? And I go, okay, yes. This is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life.
Right.
And so then it's like, okay, we took a wrong turn here.
Ooh, that's too late.
Yeah, and we only have 14 and a half years to go.
Oh,
right. And so now it's like, on one side, I'm trying to really pump up Shannon because she's struggling to find clients for this business. Even though it's not her fault. I mean, she's doing everything that she's supposed to be doing. It's just people don't want this because this guy is not as prolific as he claims to be. And I mean, finally we get to a point where we are hemorrhaging money. It's like all the profits that are coming in from other businesses are going to satisfy the negatives that this business is costing us.
And it's just piling up money.
And it's piling up.
Oh God.
And of course, to get out of the contract, it's a huge check that you have to write to make it go away. Got to hire a lawyer. And finally, it's like, you want to talk about this needs an adjustment. When it was all said and done, we lost over $250,000.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's a house.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a chunk.
And it happens. And I tell this story to people because, again, this isn't the Facebook rainbow and Skittles, everything's wonderful, going to work out great plan. You got to start watching because there are a lot of bad actors out there in the business world. And you have to be careful when you see something, even if it's something small going wrong in your business, you got to take action. Because if we would have taken action like 6 months in when I started seeing things going wrong, as opposed to 2.5 years in, I could have saved myself probably $125,000. Right. But you get this like, man, I just put 50,000 here and 25,000 there. And now you're almost feel like you have to defend this money because it's gone.
Well, yeah.
And so then you just start throwing good money, chasing after bad money. And before you know it, you can get out on the skinny branches quick. Now, luckily, we were in a position where we survived it. But whew, yeah. Sometimes things don't work out. And that's why when you're working and you see even if you added a new product, or for example, you had added Mylar balloons to your flowers. Let's say it didn't work out and you have $1,000 or $5,000 worth of balloons. At some point you have to go, you know what? People aren't buying these things.
Right.
And shift it.
Yeah.
And just adjust it. I mean, in your instance, it worked out like a dream, but those are things when you make these decisions, watch it and not everything you do in your business is going to be good.
So we both basically lost $250,000, and here we are, your co-hosts on a
Yes.
radio show talking to you about business. You know what though? That's what I love about it. We're open
Yeah.
enough to say, hey, we've had these mistakes happen to us. I think, again, I'll go back to what I said a few minutes ago. In business, we need to have safe places that you can go to say, hey, these are my failures.
Yeah.
I'm telling you about those because failures are incredibly important to business. Failures are important to business. They make you stronger. They make you think differently, modify behavior, whatever it's going to take so that it doesn't repeat itself. And if we're not sharing those things honestly with other business leaders, really just general in life, this is a life lesson for everyone, right?
Yeah.
If you're not sharing those times, we don't grow as a community, as a society, as people. It's just very important, and especially in business, to realize that, you're going to get what did you say? What something sandwich? A bad sandwich. You're gonna get a crab sandwich. I didn't want to use the word where he'd push the button.
You didn't want to use the real
You're
word.
gonna get those sandwiches once in a while,
Yes.
and eventually you're gonna have to eat them. Don't hang on to all of them so they take you away in an ambulance,
Right.
and deal with it. But also, I love on this show that we've developed, first off, that we can share these mistakes because it's not easy to do. I mean, it's
not. It's
even at this point, I still feel like I can't believe I was that dumb then. And now that I'm telling you how dumb I was, but you know what? None of us are perfect. I mean, we all fall short. And it's like, though, in business, man, ask for help.
Yes.
It's the number one thing. Ask people if you have an idea that you think is good, ask a lot of people about it. If you ask enough of the right people in varying positions or varying types of jobs, you'll get a good answer. And if you're super excited about something, but the answers are, it sucks, don't do it.
Yeah.
Take advice. Get advice from the right places. But if a lot of the advice is saying 80% weighing off on this, that's probably correct.
Yeah. And get advice from the right people.
Right. Exactly.
Because you don't want to take advice from somebody who doesn't own a business.
Right.
Because they can only theorize about situations and how to get out of it.
And someone that's made it through the 3 and 5 years. I mean, if you can get to 5 years, most businesses don't. If you have somebody that got to 5 years in businesses, they're not probably doing everything right, but they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And ask the right people. Exactly. Like, if David calls me up and he asks me a question about how to run all those computers in this radio show, I'd be, are you an idiot? Like, I'm still the guy that go, is it plugged in, Gary? Oh no, that's what it is. Thank you. Bye. So, yeah, you got to ask the right people.
And we see so many outfits out there that are offering advice, and they're not even run by business people, business owners. You have to make sure that you're getting good advice from the right people because they have to have been there.
Yeah.
And we've used this example a million times is if you don't know what it's like to be up at 2:00 in the morning, wondering how you're going to make payroll, you don't get it.
Yeah, you don't. That's so true. And that's the worst feeling, by the way, which I know you've had that as well before. So that's a tough one.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we're running out of time here, and I think we got 1 or 2 questions that, we have 1 minute. Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
Okay, well, let's go through words we learned today.
That's right.
Sandwich. That's very
correct.
Interesting. Ambulance. And
that's a new one on
say
me.
ambulance. That's interesting. That
Jimmy's.
was good.
Yeah, you put
Jimmy's
on an ice cream cone.
Sparkly things. That's
go.
funny. I love it. Well, listen, one thing I'll talk about real quick is 402 Business Insider. Google us. You'll find a great webpage. You can sign up for our newsletter, which is absolutely amazing. The first one came out. I loved it.
Yeah.
Packed full of information, helpful to businesses. Lists all of our sponsors. So go to 402 Business Insider, Google it, and listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
And
follow us on Facebook.
Yep.
Connect with us on social media.
Yep.
And call us if you want to talk to us. If you own a business or a big manager or CEO, come talk to us. We'll see you guys next week.